Well, here's an update on the work. We decided to bring the workers in again for another few days, and we finally got the bottom of the gates welded in so that we can keep out those packs of dogs that are really a menace in the Philippines. That's why you'll see various people when they're talking about their bad experiences in the Philippines, they mention dogs and cocks, the ones that crow at 3:30 in the morning. So I put all the lights on, as you can see. These are supposed to be so that we can have a variety of different lighting options. There'll always be someone who says, oh, that's going to cost you a ton of money in electricity, and of course they are absolutely right, but they're not on all the time. So this is where we've been having the work done. They've been smooth coating. Let me stick the lights on as we go. All of these are different switches because these will eventually be sectioned off as private balconies. As you can see, this overlooks the rest of the property, which goes right up at the back there, right up to that, where that one solitary coconut is there. Looks a little bit bedraggled, but there it is. There we are. And there's a big black boulder there, and that marks the end of where the wall goes, and then it goes down and right down there. So this is what they've been doing. They've been making this nice and ready for painting. Not sure whether they've been sanding today. No, I don't think so. They've just been putting on what they call, I think they call it smooth coat or flat coat. Now, for those of you who haven't been in on our, what we call our 5-year dream project, is that's our house over there where we live, of course, and that's very much a work in progress. This is a stage, and would eventually be like a coffee bar with a very nice view. You can, on a clear day, obviously in better light than this, you can see the sea. You can see the other islands. Bohol is not a very big island, and you're never very far from the sea. Now, we've had a lot of work done very recently. We've had this retaining wall reinforced by putting in what they call what they call a horizontal beam across the top, which ties in with all of those pillars. And eventually this will be flattened out, and then a pool in my dreams will go into that space. And that's the back of the house, the bedrooms going out, a very big sort of balcony area there. There's our little seated area, and this is the resort. So this is the resort accommodation, and our first phase of that resort is along that wall, the back of the stage, the back of the balconies, and these are the rooms that face out with a balcony. You got actually 4 rooms, but one of the rooms at the end has 2 sets of doors. I think that's how it works out. All of this does clean up. Of course, all of the tiling was done, and then we started to do other things. Not all in the right order, but sometimes when we get an offer on having some particular work done, that's what we'll do. Now, this will be part of the first phase. We'll go along and join the wall over there. That's the wall that separates the property, and this is a huge area which goes up to the wall there. Now in the Philippines everything grows very, very fast. All of these trees have grown. These are 2 years, and there in among the greenery, which you can see a little bit of red, there's a storage unit there for some of them our materials. Terrific amount of cleanup, of course. This is the septic tank, which will all be leveled out, and this area too. This is a really big area, and we'll be putting in a pool here, which will be quite a large pool for the public for walk-ins. And then at the top, where you can see a little truck, that marks the corner of the property, and that's where we'll have the entrance to the resort, which is what we're standing in right now. So it does actually look very nice from afar. I keep meaning to go up and take a video walking up the back there. This is like a little community up there. And yes, you can see that they haven't done the sanding here, only putting in the smooth coat. So turning the lights out as we go. So the goal, the target is to have a working inland resort, which is ideally positioned in this area. We're about 6 or 8 kilometers from Atafi, which is a port, and then it goes 18 or 20 kilometers up to the other port, which is Taliban. So that's our hope, is that we'll have all of this repair work done, the smooth coating all ready for painting, and then we'll let these guys go for now. That smooth coating is very materials intensive. So that's it there. So we're loaded up for everything that we'll need, and they'll be doing that for the next few days at least. So lots to be done on the stage, all the roofing to be brought down so that it's actually more sheltered. This was very quickly put up in the past. About a year, 18 months ago, we put this up so that we can do a concert, and we got this up very, very fast, and we used all of the spare tiles which were leftovers. So we're right at that time now where the sun for us has disappeared, but of course, as you can see, it's still shining over the hill there. For those of you who did join us a few years ago, you'll know that we lived high in the mountains. Let me switch off here too. You'll know we lived high in the mountains, and always used to have a terrific job getting to and from the house. Even though we do have a four-wheel drive, it was a chore getting stuck in the mud and all of that. So now we're actually on a very nice cement road. We're going to have all of this done again, and of course all the landscaping and everything is still to be done. But there's deliveries coming all the time, and they carve everything up, as you can see, and they dump the materials anyway. And it's a Filipino characteristic that you may find workers that do excellent work, but they always leave behind a terrific mess. And they do have this habit of mixing cement and concrete wherever they are. So you end up with patches like this everywhere. There's another one over there and another one here, look. And then we just had the garages pretty well done, but instead of using it as a garage, we're going to turn it into a workshop for doing some of my artwork. So it will be a studio workshop. So we're going to need more lights, I think. We're waiting. It's a very slow dry out. As you can see, it's still drying out. So I don't want to close in on the wall here, but there will be a wall across here, straight through there, and double doors opening so that there's a nice through draft. We hadn't decided on the workshop idea at first. This was going to be a garage, so the high smallish windows were there from a security basis, which will still work. This is going to be a door into the house. We'll change it from a window, and then eventually there will be a driveway that comes in from a different entrance, and we can close off that ugly door there until we can replace it. Forgot to turn the lights off there. Even this is a very big area, and in the very far future I think that what we will do is, as you can see, this sheltered area there, look, with the pillars and the arches in between the pillars, that we will duplicate that look here. So it comes along here, and a raised section for that part there with those first two panels, shall we call them, and they will form the new gate, which will be sliding, and for heaven's sake will be on a remote, and then it will come down and go up to the shop. So much to do, a lot to do, and we know it, but that's I call it our 5-year dream project, and it's actually coming along very fast. For this entire project, that was clearing what Beth always calls jungle, and you can see by how thick that undergrowth is right at the back there. When we came, it really was like a jungle, and to clear that all, I think we've been here now about 2 years. So it's actually a lot. The first thing that we did was to put this wall all around, and it really does go right down to the end, and then it goes over the back, and it goes up to that little community that I pointed out there, which is up the back, and it separates our property from that small community. And then you might be able to see at the back there, that little line is the wall just peeping through, and it goes right up the back there, quite a huge area. And all of that had to be protected from what is a common thing in the Philippines, or certainly well known, and that is encroachment. So that people who, in the case of someone who's just on the other side of the line there, if the wall was not there, part of the property, our property, would become like theirs, and they would have squatters' rights if it was not challenged at some point. I know I'm from the UK, and in the UK, if you did not close off an area, I think for a day in a year, this is how it used to be. If someone was used to parking their car in this little spot that was next to your property, part of your property, and you didn't challenge that and block it off for 1 year, they could claim squatters' rights, and the property would become theirs. So obviously having that wall was the first huge project that we had to attend to make sure that what we owned remained ours. So that's my little talk through. I hope it explains a few questions, answers a few questions for people that haven't looked in. Some we still get questions saying, well, that's a very big house. Well, of course, it's a very big building, but it's not our house. The house is actually a big house, but it's nowhere near as big as this other building here, which is the inn part, I-N-N-E. And that brings me to the end. I hope that if you found it of interest, you will like, comment, or share, or all, and you'll be with us again. So bye for now.